Hello, audience. It is Dylan from Critical Co-op here, and I hope you all have seen my little thing that I did with my dad about Godzilla 2 and Gamera. I think it's pretty funny. I'll link it right here. It should be in the left-hand corner. But I kind of wanted to give my actual thoughts on what I think Godzilla 2 will be. And what I think it will be is awesome. That's what I think it will be. We'll have some Toho monsters in there, and I hope that we'll get the Mutos back to being in this film also, because reasons. I just want to see monster action, okay? I'm hoping that if we reuse the monsters from the first film in the second one also, we can have build up to a greater monster like Ghidorah or Rodan or Mothra, and still have a ton of monster action within the first act and the second act with creatures that we've already seen before. But we can have like clearer fight scenes and stuff between them, because we've seen them fight, we've seen the tension and build up to finally seeing them fight. We deserve like a clear fight in a sequel, which, I mean, I'd be fine if it didn't actually happen, but, I mean, anyway. But yeah, I hope to see, like, a rematch between, like, a bunch of flying Mutos and Godzilla, like, he has to fight, like, 3 of them at once or something, because the flying Mutos are kind of weak and underpowered, so, like, he has to fight 3 of them in order for it to be equal within, like, the first act or something, and everyone's like, why are there so many of these things? And then we find out it's because of this asteroid that hit the planet, and it's set like this shockwave throughout the planet, which awakens Mothra and Rodan or something like that, and the inside the asteroid is Ghidorah, and that's why it's awoken all these other creatures. I'd like to see that. That'd be kind of cool. I highly doubt it will happen, because they're the actual writers, I'm not, but I'm hoping, yeah, something like that happens. It'd be cool. Highly doubt it would, but it'd be cool. And other ideas that I would like to see would be a different finishing move. That'd be kind of cool. Like something else than just breathing down the throat. Everyone's saying that should be his signature move to kill all the monsters. No, I'd like to see something different for each monster. Like for if he kills Mothra in one of the next movies, like he just grabs her by the wings and then just atomic breaths her in half or something like that. Or Rodan, he just, like grabs a wing and steps and rips, because this is Mortal Kombat now. But I really do hope that the Skull Island movie, with it being written by Max Bronstein, will be tied into the new Godzilla movies in some way, shape, or form. It wouldn't surprise me. I don't know if it will actually happen. I hope it happens, but it's like, this is the best chance that they have. If they don't take it, then it will probably never happen. But King Kong vs. Godzilla would be something that I like to see happen again, and get like an actual fight that finishes instead of them falling into the ocean. Like, I'd like to see an actual someone wins. And that's another thing that I would like to see in one of these sequels. Godzilla losing at least one of the battles. I don't want it to be Godzilla's the good guy throughout the entire series or something like that, or he wins every battle, because, let's face it, he might have fallen down, but that's because a building fell on top of him, and it wasn't that he lost. He still beat both of them. So, I just feel like they could have him lose at least one of these fights or something if he's going to be a villain fighting Mothra or something, or he loses a in-between fight. That'd be kind of cool to see, if building on my 3 flying Muto versus Godzilla plan, like Godzilla loses the fight after taking them down, and then everyone's like, well, crap, there's more of these things all over the planet, what are we gonna do? And then, I don't know, something like Mothra awakens him or something, or whenever Rodan flies by, it's like that's his real arch nemesis from the past, and so he wakes up and he's like, give me that wing, and like just rips it or something. I don't know. I'm not a writer. There's a reason for this. But I would like to see more original creatures also. I'd like to see original creatures mixed in with the new creatures. Old creatures, I mean. But yeah, so I think that the new Godzilla movies will be good. I think that they will show more Godzilla and more fight scenes. because writers are starting to just listen to fans more often nowadays. Like with The Purge 2, they kind of listened to the fans of the first one. I mean, I haven't seen either of them, but from what I've heard, they've listened to complaints of the first one. So I feel like they're probably going to listen to the complaints with both Skull Island from the previous King Kong about it being too long and too slow paced and blah 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 blah. I think they're going to bump up the speed and they're going to make it a faster paced movie. And with Godzilla 2, I think they're going to show a bit more of the monsters and they're going to have fight scenes instead of just one. Whether or not, though, that these creatures are the old monsters will be in the second one, all three, Mothra, Rodan, and Ghidorah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like that's what they would do, but Ghidorah is such a famous monster, plus he has 3 heads. It would just make sense for him to only be in the third one. Or, like I said, in the kind of not-so-serious thing that I was talking about, that, like, you know, we have Ghidorah, the 3-head monster remake for the second Godzilla, and then a Destroy All Monsters type movie where Ghidorah is the overall villain, but there's tons of other monsters. But I would like to see Godzilla face less famous enemy like Biollante. I feel like if we got a CGI Biollante, that would be awesome. Or even, let me think here. I'm trying to think of creatures that aren't so known. I mean, Gigan isn't that known, but there's no way that he would be a villain in any of these new ones. I'm looking at my collection of Godzilla DVDs, just wondering who else could be in it. Baragon could be in it, but I mean, he's not like a awesome villain that, you know, Godzilla would have a tough time fighting. You know, I really don't know, nor do I care. I just want more Godzilla movies. I'm happy that the kaiju era is kind of returning. Monsters in general are returning, with, you know, Universal Studios saying that they're rebooting their entire monster series with, like, you know, Frankenstein and Wolfman, and they're gonna redo all of those in, like, one universe or something like that. That's what I've heard anyway. That's awesome. With Pacific Rim 2, a new King Kong coming out, a Gamera movie coming out next year, 2 more Godzilla movies planned. Kaijus are returning. It's awesome. And just monsters in general, again, they're returning. With Prometheus 2 being planned, I'm sure the Xenomorphs will make a return in that. And with Jurassic World, even though they're not really monsters, that's kind of one of those kind of creature films where you watch it for the dinosaurs. You don't watch it. Most people watch it for the humans in the first one, but after that, after you've seen it 100 times like I have, you usually watch the movies just for the creature effects, because you're like, wow, those are awesome. So yeah, I'm hoping Jurassic World's good. And that's being planned to be part of a trilogy if it's successful. Like, that's going to be like the first step into a trilogy. But, you know, with monsters on the rise, I'm happy. With sci-fi on the rise, I'm happy. With comic book movies being so popular nowadays, I mean, I love every single comic book movie that comes out, as bad as they are sometimes. I still enjoy them, usually. Like, as bad as X-Men Origins Wolverine was, I still have fun whenever I watch it. Sometimes I like to make fun of it, but I just am happy that there may be sci-fi movie. I feel like sci-fi movies and monster movies could take over for the comic book movies if people get tired of them eventually. Because I like every single one, but, you know, whenever you hear that Marvel has movies planned all the way to 2020, you're like, God, that's gonna... And, like, they release 2 every year, so... And DC has their cinematic universe planned, with things like Planet of the Apes, which was a step in a different direction, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes anyway, and a third one of that being planned, and things like Godzilla, and things like the Star Wars trilogy, the new Star Wars trilogy, just being planned and announced and being released. I feel like, you know, sci-fi and monster movies could end up taking the place of comic book movies or being on par with them. And I would be happy with that. Let me know if you guys agree with that. And yeah, let me know in the comments below. And click that like button. And subscribe if you want to see me talk about more things into a microphone like a lonely old man.